on, guys? We are back here with another video this week, and this is part of my beginner series set as well here. But today we're going to be talking about positioning. So again, with character placement and positioning, this becomes incredibly important, and a lot of players, when I was starting out as well, I didn't really care too much. I just slapped my characters in on there. But as you kind of play through the game and you kind of progress, then you start to realize character placement does really matter. And depending on those types of characters and where you situate them, you can definitely get some benefit, some extra added benefit as well, in terms of, for example, breaking counterattacks or breaking the chains of attack. And so let's get right into the basics here with this chart here. And again, your character placements is usually situated in this position where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then that's where you have your 5 characters. And with chains, that's where it gets interesting. So if you're chaining attacks, for example, like Daredevil, then when he attacks one character, basically, for example, number 1, that has the potential to chain to number 2, number 3, number 4, and then to number 5. So if we find ways to place characters in that position 2 spot, then we can break those chains. And then you can also minimize the damage that's caused by certain characters. For example, like if you've got Captain America in position 1, and then you've got, for example, in number 2, someone that's stealth, or for example, someone that's got counterattack, and then that way they can break the chain, and then that breaks the attack and protects the players 3, 4, and 5. Hopefully that makes sense, and I'll show you guys some examples of this in gameplay as well, so that way you guys can see it in the game. With addition to chains, there's also adjacent attacks, and same thing, same setup here, except in this situation, for example, we're going to talk about position number 3, and because number 2 and number 4 are adjacent to number 3, this can also have an impact depending on where your characters are. And then, for example, if we say Quake here, her slow usually hits adjacent targets, so if she's aiming at number 3, that's going to touch number 2 and 4 as well, and just utilizing those adjacent attacks as well. So for example, if we're talking about these adjacent spots as well, we got to mention that there's other spots that aren't normally found in these positions, that when you summon a minion, or if you get added summons, or if you get additional characters in campaigns or something like that with extra characters, they fill in these other spots, and essentially they're in front and in the back of the other spots. So for example, 1 prime is behind 1, 2 prime is in front of 2, but you normally don't see that. But then 2 prime and 4 prime are right beside number 3. So again, with adjacent attacks, as you guys can see there, if we're still using Quake and we're attacking number 3, then that's where it hits everybody around number 3. So we're talking about 2 prime, 3 prime, 4 prime, and positions 2 and 4 as well. So you're hitting literally 6 people with those types of adjacent attacks. Another example of this one would be like Hulk as well, when he activates his ult, and if Hulk hits number 3, well then he'll hit everybody pretty much around number 3 there. So you can see it's almost like a little circle around that attack target. But yeah, that's the gist of chains and the gist of adjacent attacks. Now we're gonna jump into the game here, and we're gonna look at some examples. Alright guys, so we're back here and we're in game now, and now I'm just gonna show you guys an example here of what I was talking about in terms of the chains, so that way you guys can see it here as well here. And just looking at where we can attack, I want to attack someone that doesn't have any chains, and we're gonna go for this team. We don't necessarily need to win. I'll just show you guys what I meant by the chain attacks, so that way you guys have a general gist. And actually, with my overall defenders team here as well, with where I place Luke Cage is important, because when he taunts, then he's on the far side and he actually protects some of my squishier units, aka Punisher. I would say he's the squishiest one, and that's why I've got him there. So again, like I said, if we start off in that position 1 again and we activate Daredevil's 3rd ability, this is going to chain. So watch as he hits everybody, pow, pow, and there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we're gonna continue the fight here and get to Luke so he can taunt, and I'll show you guys. Ooh, I might get my butt kicked here, but it's all good. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take off some debuffs, and we're gonna alt here too, just to kind of get rid of some of these guys. And again, we're gonna taunt. So then Luke Cage has got that going on, and then we're gonna activate Daredevil's counter attack as well. and heal up. And again, these guys don't really have any chain attacks. Spider-Man does have one initially, but he already used it. And again, that was a nice chain attack there as well. So again, we're just going to hit another chain, pow, pow. And then we're going to ult. That's going to miss because he's blinded. And yeah, I didn't actually think we were going to win this one, but well, it's all good. It's all good. I'll take the extra points we can get. Right now, it's just our aim, what is this? Aim security blitz, I believe. So I don't really care too much on this one, but yeah, we're just going to knock him out there. Okay, so like I said, so that gives you guys a gist of the chain attacks there. And again, we're gonna switch over to my Quake team here. And where is she? So this is just a random team. Don't take note on the setup or anything like that. It's just something I use. It's just something I find that's useful to use, and I kind of just mess around with some of these builds here. But again, with adjacent attacks as well here, and we're gonna aim for Hawkeye. And as you can see here, we're gonna activate her slow. So that basically hit Hawkeye, and then it hit Quake, and then it also hit Black Widow as well, even though she's stealth. So that's the general gist of adjacent and chain attacks. So hopefully that helps you guys out there. And we got some cash here. All right, so the next setup here. So obviously, placing where your characters can go is extremely important, especially if you want to break the chains. So specifically with my Avengers team, we're going to talk about here first. I have my Captain America placed on the far left, so that way he can taunt, because he'll be the one that's taking the damage and taunting. So that way the attraction is added onto him. And then, for example, here, if we are up against a defender's team, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. But if you take away that number 2 position, so if you stealth Black Widow, then you can get rid of the chain attacks. So you can basically nullify the chain. So we're gonna speed up here. So she's stealth, and Daredevil's faster than Captain America. But as you guys saw there, Daredevil hit Yondu first, and then he was going to Mordu, and technically he would have hit Black Widow and then to Captain America right after. So again, that's where you want to break the chains off. So again, that's the example there. And I don't really know. These guys don't really have any more chain attacks, honestly. I'm just trying to think here right now. Yeah, no, we're just going to quit here. We're not going to waste any more time. But essentially, where you place your characters is incredibly important, because that way you can break the chain of attacks. Counterattack also breaks the chain. So again, with my defenders team, I have Luke Cage there for the far left, and then he's the tank and he's going to soak up damage. And then with Daredevil, he always activates counterattacks as well, so that's going to be nice. And furthermore, because a chain attacks go from the 1 position to a 2 position, if he hits Daredevil, then Punisher will also hit the target. So again, that's why I kind of have that placement. That's the reason why I have it there. And then I kind of just have Jessica Jones on the middle there, because she's kind of tanky, and then I've got Punisher wedged in between Jessica Jones and Iron Fist as well. I just want him in the back, so that way he's not in the way of everything like that. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out in terms of chains and attacks there. Other situations here as well is we've got my shield team here, and with shield security, he's going to automatically hit his taunt, so that's where he's going to be on the far side. And I've got him the furthest away from shield assault, because shield assault's really squishy, so I've got the furthest squishiest characters to the left of that. So you always want your stronger characters kind of towards where the taunt is, because that's where it's going to hit. And then I got shield operative right beside my shield security, because if she stealths, usually with auto plays, she usually stealths herself, so then that will end up breaking the chain because she's stealth. And then Nick Fury's there because he's sort of tanky, and then Medic's in beside Nick Fury, because she can also heal as well. But like I said, that will usually help out with the chain of attacks. Yeah, and then with those are just some setups. But now we can talk about the adjacent targets, and this is a weird one with Thanos, because he's also a taunter, but he provides energy to his allies that are adjacent to him. So that's where that adjacentness would come in handy, because he does provide that energy to adjacent targets, and I'll show you guys here right now in his Titan Eternal. and he generates 2 ability energy for himself or for cosmic adjacent allies. So that's something to take note of as well. The only time I ever have Thanos in the far end of that is if in a raid situation. Oh, I got 10 here. That's perfect. I can show you guys. So I've got Thanos in the far end here because I just want him feeding energy to Rocket Raccoon, because with how easy Ultimate 6 is, it ends up just giving himself energy where he can just ult and constantly taunt himself. And then on top of that, you've also got Raccoon. So I'm gonna show you guys what I mean here. We're gonna take out some targets, and he's basically just gonna get fed all the energy, and that's why I have them set up like that. So again, we're gonna just hit there. We're gonna taunt, like I said, and then when it gets to Raccoon, he's gonna ult. So he's already got an energy there from that kill. So again, this is a bad example because you guys are defensing up everything. But we're gonna ult here. So there you go, and then you're gonna see energy getting fed to Raccoon. We're gonna ult again with Minerva, and that should hopefully kill off a few guys. And then we're gonna ult with Thanos, so that should kill off a couple guys as well. Get some energy there for Raccoon as well. And again, right, if you got Star-Lord there as well, that energy kind of gets, it kind of gets fed between both of them. But with raids, with how easy they are, at least in this case, all the energy will get fed to Raccoon, and he's pretty much good to go for next round. So he just gets fed all the energy. So that's the only situation where I would stick Thanos to the far end. Again, Raccoon also gets the counterattack as well, so he'll break the chain. So that's the only time where I kind of mess around with that build. But again, otherwise in Alliance War, I usually have Thanos right in the dead smack in the middle, so that way he can feed energy to Rocket and Star-Lord, because Star-Lord, I like his blind, and it's really nice and handy. And then with Groot, I've got him in the far end, completely opposite of Minerva, because again, I want to protect Groot. And then in the off chance that they do decide to aim for Minerva, which everyone usually does, Raccoon is right beside Minerva, so then he can basically counterattack, especially if he has counterattack, and that will break the chain and basically also protect the rest of the other 3 guys to the left of that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got there for that. Then I just got some makeshift teams here and there. But again, like I said, those are usually how the setups work. Another one I've got is with the Kree team as well. And again, with Kree, you run into a unique situation because, like normal, you can put the Kree, guard to the far end so you can protect the other guys there. But at the same time, you've got Kree Noble where where was his second ability? Yeah, so his second ability, you can basically hit a Nasus now if that ally is adjacent. So again, if it's an adjacent ally, you want someone with high damage, and usually with the Kree Noble, I'll show you guys here an example. Heck, we might even just do a gameplay video so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So for example, with this team, usually, my setup's a little off here. Sorry guys. We're gonna switch here. You know what? We're just gonna take that. We're gonna take them out, and we're gonna put in the Kree Noble. Where are you, Kree Noble? Down at the bottom here because I need to farm you more. And let's see. What I should have done is preset this ahead of time, guys. I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna do some damage there. And again, we're gonna stick Korra. So there you guys have it. So again, with Kree Noble there, the Reaper does a ton of damage, so that way it's nice and handy. Wow, what is with these teams? Okay, well, we're gonna get our ass kicked, but it's okay. Just for the sake of demonstration and to show you guys what I'm talking about here. So again, we're gonna aim for Minerva, and what we should have done is we should have actually put a Taunter in here as well. I didn't do that. But again, we're gonna heal it up, and yeah, we're gonna get our butt kicked, whatever. So again, with Kree Noble, second ability is going to cause, his partner there next to him, the Reaper, to attack. So that's in that situation where you would, use that adjacentness to your advantage. So again, this isn't the greatest team setup, but I was just doing it in a rush here. And other than that, I mean, you can also do the same with Captain Marvel and the Brawler team as well. Again, my setup here isn't this exact setup I usually use for Blitz teams, because these ones aren't high enough for me to use in Blitz. But you would want Miss Marvel on the far end there where Gamora is, so that way she can basically protect. And then you would also want, usually I'd stick either Captain Marvel to right next to her because she's actually pretty tanky and she can take a beating. Whereas everybody else, Deadpool, America Chavez, Gamora, ooh, they're all really squishy. So you want to protect your squishies to the left of the tank. But yeah, that's all I got here for you guys. Phoenix teams, X-Men teams, that one doesn't really matter. I mean, I've got my Colossus and my Phoenix to the one end because, again, Phoenix is most likely gonna either, she's either gonna die on anyways, so that's why I've got her right next to Colossus. So if it chains, she dies, Dark Phoenix comes out, and yada yada yada. And then I've got Psylocke to the left of them because, again, they're the squishiest ones. So a rule of thumb is just having your tank to the far end, and then unless you're dealing with an Avengers team, then you can stick Captain America always with Black Widow, so that way Black Widow can cancel out those counterattacks. And again, with Thanos, I mean, he's got a unique situation where he can feed energy to everybody, so he can kind of be situated, in a spot where you want him to be feeding energy to either Minerva, to Rocket, or to Star-Lord. And again, I've got Groot on the far end of where Minerva is because, again, if with Rocket's first ability usually causes Groot to taunt, and then that way at least the damage is away, and if it chains, it'll protect all the squishiers from the other side. Hopefully you guys found this useful, and yeah, like I said, it's all usually just a work in progress. Oh, I should just mention, this is a really odd team here. This one I'm still a little bit unsure about because of the fact that with Rhino, he removes debuffs, so again, adjacent targets, that sort of thing. So that's why I've kind of got him in the middle there. But again, when you're dealing with adjacent targets, you want them in between two characters, so that way you can get the more, more value for their abilities, right? Same thing with my mercenary setup as well. I've got my mercenary tank on the far left there to protect all the squishies, and then actually Winter Soldier should be where the lieutenant is. Actually, I have that reversed, but that's that's I should mess around with that, actually fix some of these up. I should have did that before this video, but anyhow, we're gonna go to the giveaway here. Thanks guys for watching this part. Okay guys, so yeah, we're just gonna pick a winner here. I'm just using this random website here to pick a comment below, but again, if the comment will be selected randomly, and then I'll get in touch with you guys, and you guys can decide what card you want. So let me see here, randomly pick winner. So that works. Okay, Billy. Okay, so oh, it says here Google Play, please. Okay, well, you already suggested it. Okay, I will be in touch with you, my brother. Thank you again, guys, for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. And we'll have more giveaways in the future here. But thank you guys for watching. And as always, guys, have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and happy gaming.